lived in New York, I started with that Ohio energy, and then I realized quickly people were like, "Is she gonna kill me?" And I was like, "Well, forget it. I don't forget how you are, man. I'm just sit here and talk to myself," which is also something you see a lot in New York. So honestly, hey, I'm ZuriHall, and this is When Zay Zay Met, and today Zay Zay Met me.
¿Qué pasa, cómo está mi gente? I am Zay Zay, and welcome to When Zay Zay Met. Today is fun, guys. We have Emmy Award winner, philanthropist, entrepreneur, actress, and television and radio personality, plus all-around alpha babe. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love. This is ZuriHall. Hello.
Hello. That was an introduction, Zay Zay. Can you just intro me everywhere I go? Like
it's
brunch. All
for you, girl. If you want, I'll just be right behind you like, hey, everybody. Okay, you ready to go in? All right, yeah, let's go.
Here we go. Roll it.
Boom. In with a bang. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I'm loving it already. The energy is just creme de la creme.
Oh, good. Okay. So, and that means a lot coming from someone in your position. So I do appreciate that.
I mean it.
Okay, you grew up in Toledo, Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Tell us what it was like for you in Toledo growing up.
Oh man, Toledo, Ohio is home sweet home. I go back every chance I get. My parents are still there. A lot of my, family is still there. Both of my grandmothers, they are in their mid to late 80s, pushing 90, both live alone and they're still there. So that is certainly where my heart is. Growing up in Toledo was nice, it was your typical Midwestern upbringing. I was super ambitious, so I was always trying to plot on how to get out of Toledo eventually. So there was that. I'm not gonna lie about that, but it feels good to go back home very often because it raised me, and I had a really great childhood. I was super artsy. I was into theater from a very young age. Sure. I ended up going to The Ohio State University, so I got to keep it in Ohio until I was, 21 and ready to spread those wings and start chasing the TV trajectory.
There it is. What do you miss most about Ohio?
That's a fun question. What do I miss most? Two things, actually. I miss grass and trees and lawns. I never thought I'd miss seeing a cornfield on my way from one thing to the next thing. Oh, okay. I miss that a little bit. I never thought I would, but there's just something about the greenery. Everything feels a little bit more alive, particularly in the spring and the summer. I'm in California. We've got issues with water. The drought is a real thing. Sure. And in all seriousness, it's sometimes a little scary. We have a lot of desert land. So I miss that about Ohio. And then I miss the people, just good Midwestern vibes. When people ask you how you're doing at the grocery store, they actually want you to answer and they're waiting. And sometimes you don't even really feel like answering, but it's well, let me have this conversation with this person. They really want to know, but it's sweet. And I miss that because they're just a lot of good natured, sort of down to earth, laid back people.
That's pretty amazing. You know what? It's funny how people from the coasts, because I am also from a coast, people from the coast always have this standoffish kind of thing when they run into somebody who genuinely cares. No. How are you doing?
Yeah. It's what's the catch? Because here's the thing, when I lived in New York, I started with that Ohio energy, and then I realized quickly people were like, "Is she gonna kill me? Is she gonna And I was like, "Well, forget it. I don't forget how you are, man. I'm just sit here and talk to myself," which is also something you see a lot in New York. So honestly, either way.
Never mind. Dwayne Reed lady, give me my change.
Exactly.
Come out of here.
Dwayne Reed. Give me a CVS any day.
Shameless plug. Oh my gosh. You know what? And I put it in the intro because it kind of fascinated me. I want to ask you more about this. Tell me about Alpha Babe. It's a whole paradigm for you.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is the evolution that's come since I first sort of came up with the phrase, and I had the Alpha Babe blog, and I had an Alpha Babe power panel during the pandemic that I put together and hosted virtually. I brought in some of my other friends, women in the industry and entertainment news, and we talked about what it means to be an Alpha Babe, right? And for me, that is this combination of strength and softness, sort of traditionally masculine energy, whatever that even means, and more feminine energy, whatever that even means, right? And this was 5-6 years ago, before those conversations really started to evolve in a much more meaningful and nuanced way. And it was me sort of tapping into that idea, like, why do we have to choose? Why is this so binary? Why can't we all just sort of embrace our duality at the bare minimum, when really it's just a full spectrum of feelings and energy. And I had just been told for so long that my more traditionally alpha-like qualities were not an asset, that I was never going to find a man because I had an opinion and I was not afraid to share it. And I could be a little bit more dominant and strong-willed. But my dominance and my strong will is what's created this amazing career for me. I've dated amazing, loving, kind men who have not been threatened at all. I think that's the measure of a true man. And there are also times when I still want to be sweet and loved on and just act like I can't even open a door if my life depended on it. And both of those things can be true. And so that's what that was, really just helping to celebrate the women who felt maybe some shame in the past around those more dominant or alpha-like characteristics. What I'm really happy to have realized is, in recent years, that evolution in that conversation has grown so much that I don't even think we really have to have it as much. It's great just how nuanced and gray shaded the conversation has become, and there's so much space for so many different perspectives. So I've sort of evolved into the hot, happy mess of it all at this point. I have a podcast of the same name, and it's really kind of like an alpha babe who was highly successful, but also highly burnt out from just doing, and saying there's got to be a better way to live, a slower, calmer, more peaceful and joyous way to live. How can I hit all of my goals and be happy while I achieve them? Is that possible? And so these last few years, that's what I've been working on through therapy, through mental wellness, through yoga, meditation, through tough conversations. And I'm having those convos with experts, licensed therapists now on the podcast, particularly to support and highlight BIPOC voices, right? Particularly Black and Brown voices, and share my platform with them, because our expert opinions, the world needs to hear. The world needs to have that shared with them. And so I've been very passionate about that for the last year and a half. So we're more hot, happy mess these days, but I've always got that inner alpha babe, 100%.
Absolutely. You know, what's interesting is, as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, shoot, I want those things too. Like, somebody bring me flowers.
Right.
I mean, I know traditionally is not, that's not the funk, right? But
why
bring
not?
me some flowers. Open the door for me.
Exactly. Well, hold on now, because I'm waiting for these doors now. So you just gonna be having a standoff in the door if we both waiting. But the flowers, yes, I'll get you some flowers. I'll send you a couple dozen roses. Men deserve flowers. Everybody deserves their flowers.
Everybody deserves some flowers, some candy.
Yeah, all of it. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Somebody's gonna get you those flowers, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you, Z. I needed this time. With the Alpha Babe happy mess. So you have like a wonderful career right now, not only with the things that we just mentioned, right? The podcast and this whole Alpha Babe paradigm that turned into this new podcast, with Access Hollywood, American Ninja Warrior. Like, there's so many great projects that you work on. Some people may or may not know that you started off doing a lot of sports hosting and stuff like that in the beginning of your career. Do you think that helped you as a launching pad or a training ground even?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. You're right. I started in Indianapolis. I got my first job in TV there, and it was to be the face of a local lifestyle show. So going to parades, interviewing community leaders. Oh, there's a new winery in town. Come with me. We're going to do a tour and air it on, the CBS affiliate. But when I was there started to be momentum around me coming. There's this new girl in town. She's from Ohio, but she's in Indianapolis. She's everywhere because I have to be. Like, it's just my assignment for the day to show up with a camera and a microphone. And so the Indiana Pacers actually reached out to me. They'd heard about me and were curious to know if I'd be interested in auditioning to be their in-game arena host So I did that. I got the job. I had like 3 amazing seasons with them. I still consider them fam. And through that, it led to emceeing for the minor league baseball team, the Indianapolis Indians. And the Super Bowl came that year. I think it was 2012. And I was the official onstage host for the Super Bowl Village for that entire week, which was incredible. You know, I'm 22 years old, maybe 23. And this entire world is opening up to me. And so to answer your question, I think in one way, the sports world did help. I was never like a sideline reporter. I never had a particular interest in that, in analyzing the nitty gritty of the sports world, because it's a really hard job. And I really respect and admire my friends in the industry who do that for a living. Yeah. I'm more the energy girl. Like I can get you hype at the game, you know, when you're on your way to get the beer or to get the hot dog, but like, I know my role. So in that sense, yes, it opened me up to a world of like live audience, live events. And I realized in that moment, oh, this is addicting. Like the rush of having tens of thousands of people, hopefully on your side. And not, right. Oh God, knock on wood. I'm like, I don't think I've ever had it that bad where they just weren't on the side. Now my dog thinks someone's knocking. It's me, Lola. It's me.
Fabulous. Of course your dog's name is Lola. Of course.
Lola Jolie, because also, of course, I gave her a middle name. Like, what? So dramatic. I don't know. It's extra.
So dramatical. I love it. Who do you, I know we're going to wrap up in a minute, but who do you want to make the most proud in your life?
A great question. Ooh, that's tough. My mind goes 2 places. My first says my papa. He passed away about 10 years ago now. It feels like yesterday. We were super close. He was my mother's father, and he was just one of my biggest advocates, #1 supporters. But the truth is, I know he would be proud. He was so proud in life. I know he's proud. I feel his presence. So really, if I'm trying to make someone proud, it is younger Zuri. It's like inner city of Toledo, Ohio, Zuri, with big lofty goals and no idea how she's gonna make any of it happen. And yet having a very clear idea of who she was from a young age. My parents did a really great job of instilling a sense of personal integrity in me. We were raised a certain way, with a certain set of values and morals. And as ambitious as I am, I just was never going to make a deal with the devil. And there were just certain things that I wasn't willing to compromise on in the pursuit of the goals that I've always had for myself. And so I think I've made her proud in that. And so I just hope to continue to make her proud in that. You know, as you continue to grow, the stakes get higher, the pressure to succumb to different things gets higher. And I just hope to continue to be able to do it my way and do it the way that little 12-year-old Zuri would be happy to hear I've done it and not feel like, you know, Hollywood changed her.
You know how amazing that is? Recently I heard that the person you are today is the person you would have felt most safe with as a child.
Wow.
Do you think that's true for you right now?
You know, I do, because I appreciate you saying that, because I think that way. And I often, when I'm being hard on myself or unfair or unreasonable with myself, I remember that I am little Zuri, right? Like I am that girl who was 6 and 8 and 9, and that I can show up for myself in the ways that maybe I wanted back then for someone else to show up for me. So yeah, I do agree with you in that sentiment. I think that the biggest, best, baddest protector for little Zuri would certainly be this Zuri. Because I've also just been a pretty scrappy kid. I was always, you know, I was a tough little quickie. It's always the smallest ones with the biggest bark, with all of 7 pounds soaking wet. Now I'm my puppy. So she is her mother's daughter.
Oh my gosh. Girl, you know, I'm so happy that I met you today. I really am. I know we just met, but I feel like kindred, right?
Yes,
I feel like
absolutely.
It's wonderful.
The vibes are there. The energy's there.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was fun. Really fun.
Hugs and kisses to you and to Lola. Lola Jolie, sorry, middle name.
She's doing laps. She's over both of us. I think she's got a bone now. Take care. It was so nice to meet you, Zay Zay.
Thank you all so much for watching When Zay Zay Met. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified when we upload more conversations with celebrities and other interesting people. Now, if you'd like to see your favorite celebrity on the show, it's simple. Just tell us who that is by leaving us a comment down below. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Hasta la próxima. Lo quiero del corazón.